Hey, what's up, guys? My name is A1 Solution. That is me. We are going to be talking about Black Mirror. This is something that I never really put much thought into, and I kind of wanted to share it into a video to see what other people think about this. And please comment down below your thoughts on this. So one thing is Black Mirror. You know, one thing Black Mirror has done is predicted things, and we're going to be seeing a scroll here of all the predictions from season one. You know, the allegations with the UK Prime Minister. You're just going to see it, right? But the thing is, and we're also going to share the Simpsons too. The Simpsons and also Family Guy. I think Family Guy even shared some stuff, and also South Park has even shared. So we all know about this, right? So I just want to know what people's thoughts are on this, and I'm going to make this a Reddit page. Ironically, we're going to be looking into a Reddit page, and I just find this freaky. And also the reason why I'm making this too is Black Mirror never dropped a video during the pandemic. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a little weird? Like, you know what I mean? Because nothing, you know, the pandemic, obviously, you know, I know people are like, you know, like the whole pandemic, people were not doing work. They're not going to work and stuff like that. They're getting paid with all these other stuff, blah, 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 right? But it's just interesting to me that there was no Black Mirror. And this is like a conspiracy too. This is like weird to me. And we're gonna read a Reddit thread that made me think like this. But like I said, we're just gonna scroll through this here, and we're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And you know, this is, you know, some people would say this is like predictive programming or something like that, right? But it just freaks me out. And I'm just gonna keep scrolling real quick, and then we're gonna scroll all through this, all this. All right, so we're in the thread here. So this is what the person said. He said, "Is Black Mirror still ahead of its time, or has reality already caught up?" And this is what they said. "I've been rewatching Black Mirror lately, and it hits different now. Every episode, episodes that once felt dystopian and far-fetched now feel eerily familiar. Social credit systems, AI lovers, deep fake politics, surveillance states, hate the stuff that seemed terrifying 5 years ago is basically just daily life now. So I've got two questions for y'all, and this is something I want. You know, I also want people to comment down below your thoughts too. Share your thoughts on this. You know what I mean? So one, which Black Mirror episode feels more relevant today than when it first dropped? And two, do you think the show has lost its edge because the world has gotten darker, or is it that exactly why we need more of it? So what I think they meant is like, is it becoming more and more real? Like, it's becoming so real that Black Mirror, like, it's hard to make videos on things, right? Like, to talk about things, because you can only go so far. We only know so far. But again, like, are they time traveling? Are they like there's a lot of theories. Like, this is a conspiracy too, by the way. This is cuckoo. This is stoner talk here. You know what I'm saying? But this is just me kind of like diving deep and trying to figure out what the heck is going on, what's happening. And there's also talks about 2030, about agendas and stuff like that, like digital IDs. It's getting crazy. Like, I really do think that our actual money might not be here forever. But, you know, there's just a lot of weird talk, and, you know, I might do a live stream and share a couple things. So stay tuned for that. I'll do a live stream on my YouTube and stuff like that, and share a couple videos. I did review my stream, and I think there was a couple times where I put the thing too close, but I figured it out. But okay, so some people says, "I think the show has the same edge, but there are so many. There are only so much havoc and devastation one can imagine before you go down a new path or find a new trope. The same reason we dropped loving our favorite music artists, and they start making new music that no one likes." Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, there's been a lot of artists that, you know, they make a good music, and then, you know, they can only go so far with that music, and then they gotta start changing it up a little bit. That's why content creators don't just do one thing, because, you know, doing the same thing over and over again gets stale. But at the same time, what I'm trying to get to is that life is improving, but you can only go so far with how you think, right? Like, how far can this go? You know, but then again, you know, people have been talking about this for a long time. In like the 80s, there were people talking about this in the 80s and the 90s. So like, you know, are they predicting things, or are they just kind of like using their imagination to how far it can really go? I mean, if you sit in a room for hours upon hours, for years upon years, you're gonna start coming up with these things like, oh, you know, the Tupac thing, hologram, this hologram, social credit score, dystopian, you know, kind of like electrictorian, I don't know what you would call it, but it's like the evil shit. It's evil. You know what I mean? They want to listen to you. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know everything about you. They want to know your where you live, all these things. And it's just and the internet's just getting scary. You know what I mean? And let's keep reading here. So what else did this person say? Anywho, I think every episode bears more relevance today than originally because we get closer and closer to those technologies, breakthroughs, everyday technology that can read thoughts by measuring blood flow and brain vessels, and advent of AI, the human machine interfaces like the one Musk is working on. So yeah, so they're working on like they do this in. They started this, I think, in China before all of this, right? And then they actually, because I know this for a fact, because I watched the Africa presidential elections, because there was a lot of stuff going on in Africa, and one of the people that was running for president, he was getting hassled and attacked, and he had to stay in his house. This dude's running for president in Africa. He had to stay in his house. But long story short, they have these like identifications, like facial recognitions and thumbprints and stuff like that. And I think that's what we're going to. I really do think that's what we're going to in a lot of jobs. You know, like it's all wild to me. Let's see. Recently, we allowed a cripple to walk via Bluetooth, essentially bypassing the spinal damage, genetic manipulation, and then all those things we did not. Blah blah. We live at the precipice of a day where soon one of the specific breakthroughs is going to change human life, which is never going to be just fiction. You want to know the one thing that kind of like freaks me out? Is everything about life is man-made. Like even like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday stuff, you know what I mean? Even time itself is all made up. You know, it's all to like control us. It's all about control. It's always been about control, because that's why we got the age verifications. That's why, you know, think about the kids getting kids suing the parents. We got age verifications. We got people falling in love with AI. We got digital currencies. We got digital identifications, age verifications, all that stuff. It's crazy. Like a lot of this stuff's crazy. I really want you to comment down below your thoughts. We're gonna keep going here for a little bit here. I think Men Against Fire has become most relevant as time goes on. Terrifying so. It may be predictable, but its tropes are common for a reason. I find the ending where he chooses to ignore it to live in a fake reality particularly poignant. I don't know. Also, do you remember so if you know who Paul Walker is, right? So Paul Walker, he was actually in a Secret Society video. It was like Skull and Bones or something like that, right? It was something like that. He was in a Secret Society movie. But do you remember Family Guy? Do you remember when Brian got ran over and then he was like potentially gone, and we're all thinking to ourselves like, whoa, like is Family Guy going to take out Brian Griffin from Family Guy? And you want to know what's crazy? This happened, I think it was like before too. It was like I think it was before. It had to be before, or it was like slightly after Paul Walker, you know, passed and stuff like that, you know, because he got into that car crash and stuff like that. Or like some people, dude. But there was people speculating that Family Guy actually predicted that. You know what I mean? There's also a lot of South Park that predicted things. Like how do you predict something? You know, they did talk about this too. They were like, you know, you make enough predictions, you know, one's bound to come true, which I get, but that's just kind of freaky to me, bro. Like, so you're telling, I mean, I don't know, man. It just freaks me out. It all freaks me out. And I want you guys to comment down below. This person said, it gave me a weird feeling of empathy for soldiers who fight. Okay, that's done. The older episodes have definitely been caught. Nosedive was always my favorite, even though when it came out, I thought it was trying to showcase social media actualized. Didn't think we would see an exact copy. I would love to see an episode that is an analogy. Okay, let's just say some episodes have become far too real in my life. Just please don't ask me about the pig. I don't know what that means, but look at like iRobot, right? iRobot, dude, you need to watch iRobot. Watch it again and listen to everything. Listen to everything. Turn on the captions. I'm telling you, turn on the captions. Listen to the whole entire movie. Watch the movie. Think about it for a second. Just think about it for a second. If we do get robots, which we are going to get robots, just think about that for a second. Just think about that. Just keep thinking, right? So this person said, I guess the person was like, someone says, you joke, but Google David Cameron pig scandal, and before you think the scandal inspired the episode aired 4 years before the real news broke. Charlie Broker even commented that it was a complete coincidence. I mean, I don't know. It could be either a coincidence, and there's also a theory that we're all... So I guess you would, if you heard about the NWO, the New World Order, right? You know how the New World Order, right? And before I talk about that, do you know Method Man? Method Man has an interview, and I wish I could show it, bro. I really wish I could show it, but there's an interview with him talking about the New World Order in a sense to where, you know, they want to control us. They want to know everything about it. It's kind of wild. Like the stuff he knew, I don't know how he knew it. Because everything he said is literally happening. Everything we see in these shows are literally predicting what's happening. And what I'm trying to get to is the New World Order is they want a one world order. They want everyone to comply. That's what the internet is doing. The internet is kind of like that. And I think the world is trying to get like that. Like, look at Gavin Newsom. He's trying to go after Trump. He's saying, hey, do you guys see see what Trump is doing to America? And then you look at DC, you know, not like Trump has been bad, literally just he's been kind of like putting pressure on DC, and it's a lot safer out there. But look at San Francisco, look at Oakland, look at Los Angeles, look at Chicago, look at all these other places. They're bad. They're really bad. And there's a lot of people that agree with me on that, you know what I mean? But, you know, reality is slowly catching up to most stories. Great question. Unsure if I can answer, but I will say that I understood why they didn't show during the whole pandemic. Like, what could be more dystopian than that time? It was a great call, but with this clown as POTUS, the country and the world might start looking at more like BM episodes in a few short years. I wish I was exaggerating. So this is 4 months ago. So I don't know if he's talking about Trump. I think he is talking about Trump because this is 4 months ago. But I don't know. Yeah, I think he is talking about Trump. But I do find it interesting, though, the fact that not one episode was dropped during the pandemic. Did The Simpsons and all them drop? I forget. I don't know, but I do find that interesting. And this is just like a theory video. You're not gonna be too impressed. I don't know, but Amazon has already implemented it. Dear Prime member, we are waiting. Wait, what did they say? Black Mirror doesn't present one unified vision. So which freaking episode would you be judging our closeness to? It feels like the writers are just using the sci-fi thing as a plot point, but the science doesn't actually translate well to the story at hand. It's like you use the science explanation for a bad thing, but don't actually be consistent with the whole story. I had the biggest ick with the USS Callister episode. I get that all the writers, producers grew up watching Star Trek, all that. They revisited it in a new season. Black Mirror isn't really a sci-fi series anymore. It's just an anthology of stories. Some are distinctly sci-fi. Also, do you remember Joe Rogan talking about the ancient Egyptians and stuff like that, and how there's something that looked like a spaceship? Kind of crazy, right? Like, what if we're like, some even say we're living in a simulation, a world that, that's simulated, and we know that's possible, that it could happen, but are we living in it? Are we in one of those? And I think Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about it a little bit, but life is just so interesting, is it not? Technology wise, the only parts that really stood out. And also, this is Reddit too, so these are people's opinions too. Some of these people are probably not even like specialists, but it's also interesting hearing other people's thoughts, because I have a lot of thoughts myself that go on in my head and stuff like that. This title makes me wonder why I wasn't really engrossed in the recent BM Archangel subscriptions. Hell, and AI isn't that far-fetched of moral topic anymore, because folks are already talking about them before current season even premiered. Sci-fi is really about the future. I mean, it's just crazy, man. I want to know your thoughts. Like, do you think it's weird that they did not upload anything during that time? Because there's really nothing to talk about. So maybe they do go off news and kind of like project and kind of like figure out what's gonna happen next, right? But I just thought this was an interesting video. I just wanted to share some things here, and this is nothing too crazy of a video. I did not plan this video. I just said, hey, you know what? Why not just talk about this really quick? And I really want people to comment down below. You know what I mean? I really want you to comment down below and give me your thoughts on this, and if you can actually like maybe connect off this, like kind of branch off what I said and kind of add to it. Comment down below. Be positive about it. I would love that. Being positive is great, because one positive comment equals many positive comments. And I always encourage to be a good sport. Even if you disagree with me, be a good person. I appreciate it. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a specialist. I'm not a professional. I'm just a human being that is a normal person, and I'm just giving you my thoughts. And on and on. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on. A lot of weird stuff. And before I go, hold on. Before I go, we are going to be looking at whatchamacallit, something in my next live stream. So my name is A1 Solution. That is me. Hope you have a great day. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. See you later. Bye.